Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome along to SportsBet TV with me, Paul Alster. I am very much looking forward to some excellent racing coming up on Saturday, the 3rd of December. And finally, we're seeing a few decent sized fields, and the runners, the rains have come. And even though I did see there's a two-runner novice chase for £25,000 over the weekend, essentially, there are quite a few more betting opportunities, which is very good all round, especially for those of us like us who like to bet each way at a decent price in a field with quite a few runners. If you are finding this channel for the first time, please press the subscribe button just below the screen. Very quickly, last week, there was just the one selection of late. I've only been giving you one or maybe two. There are two selections this week. That, of course, limits the chances, no doubt about that. And our selection last week was Lost in Translation, who ran in the Coral Gold Cup, the old Hennessy Gold Cup. And to be honest, it went wrong right at the very start at the tape, because you probably saw the start. There was at least two or three false starts. They had to turn around and come back in. And his young rider had him in the perfect position the first couple of times. And then the third time, when eventually they did let them go, he hadn't managed to get the horse up towards the front where he likes to be, and he was always chasing his tail after that, and it was never going to happen, really. Even before they got to the first fence, I was already resigned to the fact that this wasn't going to be his day. As it happened, he finished, he did best of the three Colin Tizard trained runners, even though they all ran very much below par, including Fiddler on the Roof. So that was one that got away. We shall move on this weekend with two selections, and the first of them goes on Saturday at Sandown. Now, Sandown, of course, a really stiff track with that really tough uphill finish that can see results changing rapidly. And this is a 2.5 mile mares handicap hurdle. The going forecast, as of the time of this recording on Thursday afternoon, is soft, and there are 10 runners, so a nice sized field. And I think there's little doubt, really, that West Balboa for Dan Skelton is the class act in the race. It won a 2 mile 5 furlong novices hurdle in November last year, and then went on to be second to Stage Star of the Grade 1 Challow hurdle at Newbury, and that is a standout piece of form. Absolutely no doubt about that. It's first time in a handicap, runs off what seems to be, on the face of it, a lenient mark of 127, but it has been off for 11 months. It's the likely favourite, that you would want to watch the market just to see if there is the support for it. I just wonder if maybe the Challow hurdle form was a little weaker than usual. And for me, betting each way, West Balboa just wouldn't really be an option, even though he might prove to be a genuine graded horse up against handicappers here. Now, Anthony Honeyball has a horse called Coquelicot, who won 2 weeks ago over very nearly 3 miles in a handicap hurdle at Ascot. So there's no doubt at all that she will stay, and she will be keeping on up the hill when others are beginning to get tired. But she has gone up £6 for that win, and she is down in trip, so there's going to be a bit more pace on than she would have been used to. But no doubt about it, she is in form. And on that form at Ascot 2 weeks ago, she holds Lucy Wadham's Teresita, who was fifth in that race. Probably will be better for the outing, to be fair, and is £7 better off. So Teresita should get a little bit closer to Coquelicot on their running at Ascot recently. Now, Gay Calloway doesn't have too many of them over jumps, but she's got an unexposed mare in Plenty of Time, who was a close second in a 2.5 mile Wincanton novices hurdle in January on its hurdling bow. And then on only its second and final start so far, won by nearly 10 lengths at Wincanton over nearly 2 3/4 miles in February, and has been off since, and gets a rating here of 120. So again, it's fitness you have to take on trust, and it's been given a middling kind of a handicap mark. And again, the market will be worth a check for Plenty of Time. Now then, Harry Fry, really good trainer. Harry Fry runs 2 in the race, and the better of the 2 and the highest rated is White Hot Chili Filly, great name, who's running for the first time since a breathing operation, has been off 8.5 months. Now, she actually was 6th in this very race last year, but as they raced down towards 2 out, she was 6 lengths clear, having made all the running, done a little bit free 3 of them would have been ideal. Now, that eventually took its toll on her, and she faded at the last where she blundered and eventually finished 6th, but she was valued for a better run than that, really. This year, she's £5 lower, and then you've got the good conditional rider Ben Bromley claiming £7, so essentially £12 lower than last year, and she has a proper chance, White Hot Chili filly. But it's Harry Fry's other runner that interests me, and this is called Whiskey Express. This is my choice with Jonathan Burke on board, really good jockey. And this mare has only had 5 runs, so she really is, to a great extent, still an undiscovered quantity. She won on her debut at Taunton in a bumper in March of 2021, and then she won on her 3rd start over hurdles at Newton Abbot in March of 22. That was over 2 miles and 5 furlongs, so the trip is not going to be a problem for her. And significantly, both her wins have come on soft ground, so she does like plenty of cut underfoot, and that's what she is forecast to get at Sandown on Saturday. Now then, she had been off for 7.5 months and then ran a very promising reappearance race at Exeter recently on the 4th of November, Mischievous Night. And she finished 4th of 15 there over nearly 2 3/4 miles in a mare's handicap hurdle. She was way out the back and looked, as they turned into the long straight at Exeter, to have little or no chance of getting involved. And to be fair, she never landed a blow, but she did stay on past a lot of horses and eventually finished 4th, keeping on very well indeed, never nearest at the finish. And significantly, Jonathan Burke rode her that day, and he stays with her in preference, it appears, to the top weight and stable companion White Hot Chili filly, although maybe Harry Fry said he wants to claim off the top weight to try and take her burden down. But I think that Jonathan Burke must have been very pleased with the way that Whiskey Express ran, especially as the ground was good and she kept hanging a little bit. And I think that was because she was just feeling the ground. This time the ground will be ideal. He's going to be with her, and I think she'll run very well. Now, there are no early prices offered, so I'm estimating the odds at about 6 to 1 each way. Now, that might be a bit conservative because I saw the Sporting Life have priced her up at 15 to 2, so she may well be bigger. But I certainly think she will be an each way price, and I think she'll run very well. Whiskey Express on Saturday, Sandown in the 12:35. Well, as you know, I started my Out in Front subscription service a couple of months ago, and this is where I'll be focusing on plenty of runners and giving quite a few more tips across the whole of the weekend, Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. And if you want to join in and join us to have a crack at the bookies with some really tasty priced each way selections for this weekend, here's how you get involved. Hello, I'm Paul Alster. Since July 2020, my followers have enjoyed some really great success here with my regular Saturday and festival tips here at SportsBet TV. Well, now I'm offering an enhanced tipping service called Out in Front, aiming for plenty of big odds selections on far more racing days. So to continue receiving my profitable and enjoyable each way and often long odds racing selections, sign up now on Patreon for my low-cost, brand new live tipping service where you can interact with me and ask questions and comment in real time. So signing up to Out in Front only takes 2 minutes. First, choose a membership, then sign up, add a payment method, and then you'll get all the benefits of being an Out in Front member. I can't wait to see you, so sign up to the new Out in Front real-time tipping service with me, Paul Alster. So that's Out in Front. Take a look. You'll be more than welcome to join. We've had a few nice prize winners. There's been quite a few losers along the way, as is the wont, and ups and downs, but as big as 16 to 1 have been the winners since we've been at Out in Front, and I'll be tipping a few horses even bigger prize than that this weekend. Now on to my second selection here at SportsBet for Saturday, and that's at Chepstow in the 137. Now this is the very nearly 3 miles Welsh National Trial Handicap Chase. This race has got a tremendous recent record. 12 runners this year on forecast good to soft ground. Now the race was won last year by I Will Do It, who subsequently went on to win the Welsh National. While the previous year, this race was won by Secret Reprieve for Evan Williams, who did the same, went on to win the Welsh National before finishing 5th last year to I Will Do It. So it is a very hot trial race, and Secret Reprieve is back for Evan Williams. Remember, a previous winner of the race and a previous Welsh National winner, and it is now £6 lower than when it was 5th in last year's Welsh National. Has had a run at Carlisle, which would be, of course, racing right-handed, not left, and probably needed the run. It finished last of the 9, and there's every chance it'll go perfectly well here, Secret Reprieve. Now, another horse that goes well at this track is Elegant Escape, now trained by Joe Tizard, who took over from his father Colin at the end of last season, was doing really well. Now, Colin sent out an Elegant Escape to win the Welsh National of 2018. He's been a really good horse, rated up, I think as high nearly as 160 at one point. He won an Ascot 3-mile handicap chase in March of this year off 140, and he's another who should be better for the run, especially as at Cheltenham 3 weeks ago he was running over an inadequate 2.5 miles, and this is a little bit more in the right direction, nearly 3 miles. He's also been dropped a pound, so expect Elegant Escape to be keeping on, although I think the Welsh National itself is probably going to be the race that they are targeting. Now, the bookies are running scared of one here called Wayfinder. This is trained by Rebecca Curtis, whose stable star Lisnagar Oscar was retired last week. He was a really good old stick, winning the Stayers Hurdle. So she's looking for a good one to fly the flag. And it seems that they're hoping that Wayfinder will be the one. But it's 2-1 here. It's a 2-1 chance on early betting on Thursday afternoon. It's on a 4-timer and clearly loves the track because it's won over course and distance on its last 3 starts. But it has gone up a total of £20, and this is a far tougher race than anything it's faced so far. Now, of course, it could be a young, improving chaser who is still ahead of the handicapper. I don't discount that for one moment. But at 2-1, against 2 previous Welsh National winners and a previous winner of this race, I think those are crazy odds. And I think if it goes and wins at 2-1, then very good, anybody that's brave enough to back it, but I'm not. Just wouldn't even consider it. Now, of the rest, Farinet represents the back-to-form Venetia Williams. And this won first time out last term, but that was over 2.5 miles. It's never won over as far as this. And I think the market will tell us whether they're expecting it to be able to stay. But nice to see Venetia's horses coming back to form. And then Nicky Henderson has Caribbean Boy in the double green of Simon Munir and Isaac Soad. This one's been very smart at its best, and it won at Kempton over 3 miles off 145 last term. It's been off for 9.5 months, so a long break to overcome, but it has won first time out in the past. And amongst other runners in this race here, we have Time to Get Up, who's a previous Midlands National winner, and is a horse who is capable. But my feeling about this horse is that he's probably better sort of in January, February, March. So I think we may see the better of Time to Get Up as the season progresses. Now then, Paul Nicholls, champion trainer. He saddles the very, very classy Secret Investor, who goes well fresh, but he has been off for 22 months, and that is a long, long absence. But the last time he was seen, he won the Grade 2 Denman Chase. That was down at Newbury in February of 21. He beat no less a horse than Clan des Obeaux, and he's now down £4 since then. He is a previous course and distance winner as well, and this horse is just such a good talent, but he's obviously had some sort of an issue. And while he may well be ready to run, and he has gone well fresh in the past, it would be a massive performance to win first time out, even though this is a big drop in grade for him. However, Paul Nicholls runs another horse in this race, and he's a big price. And his name is Southfield Harvest. He's trained by Paul and is the Mount of Angus Chalida, the stable's good conditional rider, who claims £5. Now, for an 8-year-old, he's very lightly raced. He's from a really good family. He's only had 9 runs. He's won 3 and been placed 5, only once out of the frame in 9 runs, and was rated 135 over hurdles after racing just 5 times over timber. Now, he made his chasing bout at Newton Abbot in May of 2021, was really impressive. He won very, very nicely and jumped well. And then he was off for a year and a half, so obviously had an issue. They brought him back at Fontwell on November the 13th, just a few weeks ago, over 3.5 miles, straight into a handicap chase on only his second start over fences. He made an early mistake, quite a bad mistake at the third. And after that, he was always on the back foot. And in the end, Bryony Frost pulled him up at the 14th. Now, he's been dropped £3 since then. He also probably needed the run after a year and a half's absence. Now, you would think that given what happened there at Fontwell, they'd look for a small little race for him to try and build his confidence. But to me, it's a sign of the regard in which Paul Nicholls holds him, that he's prepared to run him in what is a very hot handicap chase on only his second start in a handicap and only his third start over fences. And I think that has to be significant, and he must believe in this horse to throw him in here. Now, when you take into account his rider's claim, he's going to run off 9 stone 11. And I'm pleased to say that Angus Chalida has ridden off as low as 9 stone 9. So he should be able to do the weight, and I'd be hoping he won't put up any overweight. Now, admittedly, it is only his third run over fences, so we are taking a bit of a chance on him. But he is a fascinating runner from one of the very best stables, throwing him in against exposed handicappers, and he runs here off a mark that suggests that if he is able to put in a clean round, he could very easily go close. And at the time of this recording, Thursday afternoon, Sky Bet are going 25 to 1 each way for 5 places. I think that's a really good offer. Paddy Power and Betfair are also offering 25 to 1, but for fewer places. Now, they're the only 3 first firms up early. I'm sure more will come along, but I'll be surprised if we get more than 25 to 1 each way. Then again, I've been surprised in the past when horses have drifted and won for us. That's our second recommendation then here at SportsBet on Saturday. And I hope you take a look at those and consider combining them in multiples and so on and so forth. So that's it. 2 at SportsBet. Check out in Front if you're interested in getting involved. You'll be more than welcome. But for now, for this weekend, I wish you the best of luck. Speak to you same time next week. Bye-bye for now.